Yan, good afternoon once again, my dear students. This afternoon, we will be discussing the continuation of our topic about target setting, but this time we will be focusing on the Marzano's new taxonomy. So last time we have discussed the Bloom's taxonomy as well as the Solo taxonomy, no? But this afternoon, we will be focusing on Marzano's new taxonomy as well as writing the learning objectives later on. So this new taxonomy is developed or rather was developed by Robert Manzano in the late 2000, where he actually called this as the new taxonomy of educational objectives. This was developed to respond to the shortcomings of the widely used Bloom's taxonomy of uh, learning, cognitive domain, and the current environment of standards-based instruction. So this model of thinking skills incorporates a wider range of factors that affect how students think and provides a more research-based theory to help teachers improve their students' thinking. So the primary distinction of this theory is that it is made up of three systems and the knowledge domain, all of which are important in for thinking and learning. So these three systems are the self-system, the metacognitive system, and the cognitive system. So technically, we will be discussing all of this later on. In a short while, we have the self-system, the metacognitive system, and the cognitive system. The first is the self-system, where it decides whether to continue the current behavior or engage in the new activity. The metacognitive system sets goals and keeps track of how well they are being achieved, and the cognitive system processes all the information necessary, and the knowledge domain provides all the content. So technically, these are all four systems plus the knowledge domain. We have the knowledge domain, the self-system, the metacognitive system, and the cognitive system. This is the overall bird's eye view or overview of the three systems and the knowledge domain of Marzano's new taxonomy. We have self-system includes beliefs about the importance of knowledge, beliefs about efficacy, emotions associated with knowledge. While on the other hand, when we say metacognitive system, it focuses on specifying learning goals, monitoring the execution of knowledge, monitoring clarity, and finally monitoring accuracy. So as you can see, when we talk of self-system, it's about belief. But when we talk of metacognitive system, it's about the monitoring, the specifying of learning activities, execution of knowledge, clarity, and accuracy of the process. The last one, the last one of the three is the cognitive system, where it is divided or rather subdivided into four. We have the knowledge retrieval, comprehension, analysis, and the knowledge utilization. So as you can see, it's about, or rather, it's about almost the same with the Bloom's taxonomy. However, there is a little bit of revision where metacognitive system and self-efficacy, or rather self-system, is being emphasized. When we say knowledge retrieval, we are actually recalling or executions only. When we say comprehension, it's about synthesizing, representation. When we say analysis, we have matching, classifying, error analysis, generalizing, and specifying. And finally, we have the knowledge utilization where we use it in decision making, problem solving, experimental inquiry, and investigation. And finally, we have the knowledge domain, which is in addition to the three systems of the Marzano's taxonomy. This knowledge domain is subcategorized into three. We have the information, mental procedures, and the physical procedures. This is actually the overall um, framework of the taxonomy developed by Marzano. We have the primary focus of all of this is about maximizing the learning of our students, where it starts from the knowledge domain, information, mental procedures, and physical procedures, down to the cognitive system, or rather up to the cognitive systems, which is subcategorized into four: knowledge retrieval, comprehension, analysis, and knowledge utilization. And finally, we have the concept of self-system and metacognitive system. When we talk of self-system, it's about the belief of how the knowledge are being utilized, And when we say metacognitive system, it's about monitoring of how this learning is being achieved by the students. So next thing that we're going to talk about is the concept of unpacking learning competencies or competencies. We have unpacking these competencies using the 5 Ps. What are these 5 Ps? It's about purpose, preparation, pitch, pace, and progress. So there are lots of questions here in this um, diagram that we will be talking about in the next few minutes. And take note, it's a process. So meaning when we say it's a process, it's kind of a cycle. It starts with a purpose, comes preparation, then pitch, then pace, and then progress. And then comes back to the original purpose of the teaching and learning process. So the concept of the purpose in these 5 Ps in unpacking learning competencies is that if a lesson is to be taught, there must be a good reason for teaching it. So basically, if there is no reason to teach that, you don't have to teach it in the first place. So questions, or rather guide questions under this purpose is, what are you teaching? Why are you teaching this? Where does it fit into the curriculum or schemes of learning? How will it benefit the pupils? Will it increase knowledge and understanding or skills? How will you prepare the children for learning? Another one is, how will the children know the learning objectives? So technically, we'll be giving the learning objectives or the LOs. How will you remind the children of previous learning? And how will the children know the success criteria? So basically, we will be giving the LOs and the SCs. After the purpose is that we will be discussing the preparation, or you will be focusing on the preparation phase. So when you say preparation phase, it's about the concept of, are you ready as a teacher to deliver the lesson? Do you have the right resources? Is the classroom fit for the purposes? Is it conducive? Are the students ready? Do you need any special arrangement for the lessons? Are you safe? Are the students safe? And finally, how will you establish the appropriate atmosphere? So it's kind of about behavior for learning. Are the students ready to learn? Are they hungry? Are they physiologically, physiologically and mentally ready to learn? Those are the questions under this preparation phase. The next is about the pitch. So when you say the pitch, it's about the lesson must ensure that all pupils can access all the materials. So these are the things that you have to consider. We have described the type and range of differentiation required, identify the range of levelness, the concept of levelness, and what this look like or this looks like. Another one is identify how extensions might be made if necessary. So when you say extensions, are you going to extend that time to be used to discuss that lesson, or are you going to delimit that discussion only for an hour or 30 minutes? So another one is, are there any special needs? Like, are the students high achiever, or are the students at the same level of mainstream, such as higher, lower, or we also have the vulnerable groups? And how will these needs be met? Next one is the pace. So when you say pace, is about the the frequency, the speed, and the accuracy of teaching, and the students having to learn the lesson. So the pace must maintain interest and ensure learning. What are the activities for the lesson going to be? Are these interesting? Or how are you going to make your students interested? How frequently will the activities change? How will the pupils know the time frame for each activity? And what ways will be used for recording such that pace is maintained? So when I say pace, it's about how you maintain the interests of the students to ensure that learning happens. Another one is the progress. So technically, this is the last part of the 5 Ps. You and the children must know that progress has been made. So technically, if there is no progress at all while teaching, so ibig sabihin, it's like teaching doesn't happen in the first place. So how will you know that progress has been made? Basically, you have to monitor that. When will pupils refer to and reflect on the learning objectives? How do you know progress has been made? How do the children know when they No, they have made progress. And will there be opportunity for peer assessment? So these are the very important questions that you have to ask yourself when you are unpacking the learning competencies using the 5 Ps. Again, what are these? What's this 5 Ps all about? It's about the purpose, the preparation, the pitch, the pace, the progress. So it's kind of a cycle that comes in full circle. Starts with the purpose, comes preparation, the pitch, the pace, and the progress or some sort of assessment. Another one is the ABCD of the statement of objectives. What does it mean by ABCD? ABCD is actually just an acronym for let's see. A is audience, behavior for B, C for condition, and D for degree. So objectives must be both observable and measurable to be effective. So technically, if these are not observable, you cannot measure them. Use of words like understand and learn in writing objectives are generally not acceptable as they are difficult to measure. So technically, if you are writing objectives like the students will be able to understand or the students will be able to learn, something like that, the words like understand and learn are not measurable. They cannot be measured. So meaning you are not allowed to use them in your learning objectives. So first, A for audience. So technically you have to define the intended learner or end user of the instruction. What grade level are they in? Often the audience is identified only in the first level of objectives because of the redundancy. Um, the paramedic refresher participant, something like that, the students, the pre-hospital care provider attending this seminar, something like that. So it's like the students will be able to. So who are the learners? The students. Behavior. What are these behavior? These are actually supposed to be measurable and attainable, or rather specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, or relevant, and time-bounded. This describes the learner's capability. We have must be observable and measurable as you will define the measurement elsewhere in the goal. If it is a skill, it should be a real world skill. The behavior can include demonstration of knowledge or skills in any of the domains of learning, like cognitive, psychomotor, affective, or other than that, we also have the interpersonal. Examples of behavioral part of the learning objective is that should be able to write a report, should be able to identify or should be able to describe the steps. Again, the first part is you are stating the audience, excuse me, stating the audience, the students will be able to, and then behavior, the students should be able to write a report or should be able to describe the steps. The next one is condition. So what are these conditions ba? These are equipments, tools that may or may not be utilized in completion of the behavior. Environmental conditions may also be included. Examples such as given an oxygen wrench, a regulator, and D-tank with oxygen, given the complete works of William Shakespeare, given the following environment, 10 p.m., snowing, temperature 0 degrees Celsius. So these are conditions in addition to the audience and the behavior. And the last one is the degree. When we say degree, this states the standard for acceptable performance like time, accuracy, proportion, quality, etc. Examples of this is or are rather without error, 9 out of 10 times or within 60 seconds. So we're gonna have an example of that learning objectives using the ABCD method. We have students will explain the social responsibility to ensure that adequate legal services are provided to those who cannot afford to pay for them in 3 paragraphs. That's it. So technically, we're going to identify in this first example what is the audience or who are the audience, what's the behavior, what's the condition, and what's the degree. We have students will explain the social responsibility. So technically, students, that's the audience. Explain the social responsibility, that's the behavior. The condition, to ensure that adequate legal services are provided to those who cannot afford to pay. And the degree in 3 paragraphs. Okay, another example, the students will describe the steps in planning, factual investigation, in legal research, including identifying and formulating relevant legal theories, generating alternative solutions and strategies applied to a hypothetical case. So here's the thing. The audience here are the students. The behavior is will describe the steps in planning factual investigation in legal research, including identifying and formulating relevant legal theories, generating alternative solutions and strategies, and I mean that's the condition. It starts with including, and the degree is applied to a hypothetical case. Another one, given a given a standard case, a standard sentence, the English 101 students should be able to identify the noun and verb without error. Okay. The audience here are the English 101 students. Okay. The behavior is should be able to identify the noun and the verb. The condition is given a standard sentence. And the degree is without error. And finally, we have given an assortment of EMS equipment to pick up from or to pick from, the paramedic should be able to identify all the equipment necessary to perform rapid sequence intubation without error. So let's try to check again who are the audience here. The paramedic. The behavior should be able to identify all the equipment necessary to perform rapid sequence intubation. The condition, given an assortment of EMS equipment to pick from, and the degree is without error. That's it. So writing objectives from competencies, what are these? We have examples from competencies to learning objectives. We have, for example, we have the competency is utilizes appropriate methods for interacting sensitively, effectively, and professionally with persons from diverse cultural, socioeconomic, educational, racial, ethnic, and professional backgrounds, and persons of all ages and lifestyle preferences. In terms of the learning objectives, we have from that learning competency, we crafted these learning objectives. We have at the end of the lesson, the student should be able to or will be able to. If you are looking at the ABCD of learning objectives, we have here students, they are the audience. Describe the demographic trends and epidemiological trends related to diverse population in the US and abroad. That's the behavior. So technically the most important thing here is the behavior, which is supposed to be measurable. Another one is compare and contrast diversity and cultural competency in the public health context. And finally, identify a framework to design culturally competent public health care services for diverse populations. So as you can see, these are uh, more of cognitive or rather cognitive domain learning. However, they are measurable and attainable at the same time. So technically, they are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant or realistic, and time bounded. So technically, all of these are based from the competencies given the competencies given. We crafted list learning objectives using the different taxonomy of learning. So technically, all of the Solo taxonomy, the Bloom's taxonomy, the the Marzano's taxonomy, all of those are being applied in in these 3 learning objectives from one single learning competency. So to end this lesson about target setting, we have here, let me share with you the quotable quote given by Wilcox. Teaching is the greatest act of optimism. So it is indeed teaching that is the greatest act of optimism because by teaching the younger generations, we are hoping that these learnings that they are getting from us will change something from their lives or in their lives and in the future at the same time. So It's some kind of teaching one single mind to a many sets of students. And from the very purpose of teaching, we are hoping that the students will learn, the students will use this in their daily lives. Hence, teaching really is the greatest act of optimism. With all those learning strategies or strategies in crafting learning objectives, I hope later on you can construct your uh, learning objectives when you're writing down your lesson plans already, as they're supposed to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic or relevant, and time bounded. See you soon. Thank you so much.